Evans, send me your YouTube link. Why?
Okay.
Mm.
All right. I think yeah. So, guys, you are welcome. I think I gave you my Facebook instead because that is where the live is streaming to, so you can share that, mommy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, I think my first comment I'm getting is welcome back, bro. Yeah, it's been a while now. I just decided to take a break. But Techiwa's story actually activated me to bounce back, which is
Aw.
going to be very interesting. I've known Techiwa for some time now. I'll give a little history before she comes in to give us a brief history about herself. Yeah, good to see you too, my brother. I've seen you. So we went to the same school. We went to the same university, University of Cape Coast, Ghana, one of the best. Is it even one of the best university in Ghana? I know some
Period.
people are going to disagree with me. Some people are going to push back, but that is a fact. So, yeah, so I went to school with Tachiwa 4 years, and it's been quite a journey. Both of us are now in the States studying. Her journey is unique, her journey is special. How she
Mhm.
moved from communications to cybersecurity is something that you don't want to miss. So today we have Techiwa here, and I'll give her a little space to tell us something brief about herself, her name, where she's from, and what she's studying and the school she is in now. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mama Tichua, and I'm also a YouTuber, just as Evans has said. I'm here to share my journey with you guys, and I hope that you're inspired. I hope that it becomes, a transformational journey for you as well, so that you're also able to deduct and then let it impact your life. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys today. And the funny thing is, we actually went for an interview together on the same day. So it's
Uh,
interesting. It feels good to be back. It feels like I'm back home.
yeah, so good, good, and nice to connect with you. And yeah,
Yeah.
guys, you want to share the link, you want to let other people know about this because this is going to be an interesting conversation that you don't want to miss,
Yeah.
bringing you new insight and new trends. So if you are watching wherever you're watching from, you want to share the link, you want to make sure you are telling someone about this. I posted this, I think, on Friday, so kind of having some more time to actually let people be aware of it. So please, you want to share it, you want to drop your comments in the comment section. Any questions you have, you want to make sure you are putting them in the comment section so that Techiwa can answer your questions for you. So let's start right into it. Techiwa, yeah, so let's go a little bit back home,
Hmm.
back to Ghana.
Hmm.
I know you went to UCC, you did communications. And
Right.
after school, can you tell us where you did your national service and what motivated you to apply to schools in the United States?
Okay. So I did my national service and commission for technical and vocational education and training. So it's like a governmental organization in charge of the TVETs, education, examinations. It's basically a regulatory body. And during that period, I think even before that, in my undergrad, I always knew that I wanted to jackpot somehow, but I
Oh,
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure the approach to take or, where to start from or where to go to. So I was kind of exploring my options. And it was really during my NSS that I decided to apply to schools in both Canada and the US. And fortunately for me, I'm here now. So it started like during the NSS period. And yeah.
yeah, I think honestly, when I was in school, I never thought of studying abroad because I didn't know how it worked. And
Oh.
it was my friends at that time,
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel, who started talking about it, especially in our final year. So I got a
Mm-hmm.
fair idea of what it was, but at the end of the day, I still didn't really pay attention till I started my national service. And what even motivated me was the fact that I saw some of our mates
Mm-hmm.
going, like that same year that we completed. But I think we're done with school in 2021, October.
Yeah.
And that same year, I
Mm-hmm.
saw, like, when we started our service in that year, 2022, January, I saw some of our
Yeah.
mates were just leaving the country. I was like, how? So that's why I actually got my motivation from. So you talked about Canada and US. So did you get
Yes.
opportunity to apply to Canada?
Yes, I did. I applied to about two schools, two or three schools in Canada. Yeah.
And how many schools in the United States?
A lot. Maybe like six or seven.
Did
Yeah.
you pay for application fee for all the
No,
seven?
no. I was strategically looking for schools without that. So I think I paid for just two
And
schools
how,
here.
how, how how did you do that? Someone is watching, they want to know how strategically you were looking for schools that were waiving the application fees. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, basically research and watching a lot of videos. I used to like I was all everywhere watching videos, researching which school gives what waivers, and sometimes it's like hidden on the website. So I try to check the international students websites, admissions websites of the schools that I'm interested in. I was looking almost everywhere, and when I hear that there's a waiver, I quickly take note of it and then I try to start applying immediately. And it was, yeah, basically through that. So I made sure that first of all I selected the schools that I was very interested in, and then I selected the program that I wanted, and then from there I made sure that they had a waiver or not, and if they didn't, what was I going to do about it if I still wanted it. So that was kind of my thought process through that.
Wow. And talking
Mhm.
about the program, like what really motivated you? Because you and I, we all know we did communication. And a master, how do I even say it? Like the bedrock of communication, especially in Ghana, you are kind of going into journalism, public
Mhm.
relation, advertising, those areas because we did things related to that, news writing. We did
I'm
lead for
telling
like
you.
lead. We talked
Yeah.
about lead for like almost 4 years.
Yeah, it's
So like
crazy.
what motivated you to go to like the STEM, knowing well
Mhm.
that you didn't have a STEM background?
A number of things, and I keep saying this. First of all, my career goals. I felt like I had gotten to a certain point in my life where I didn't want to be stagnant or like being, you know, I don't know. Communication is more like, I don't know. It wasn't pushing me as much as I wanted to be pushed, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I just wanted something to kind of bridge the gap between the communication and the tech because I was always interested in tech somehow. That's why even in school I started this YouTube thing and I was always looking for something that included tech. And also because of real life experiences from some close people around me that were scammed and stuff. So it was a little bit of everything, like personal experiences and me wanting to bridge that gap. And I had a number of like personal life experiences where some people, the guys would try to intimidate you because I can't troubleshoot or I can't even do this on my laptop or, and I'm like, no, like it's not that somebody like we can't get into it. We just need the opportunity to actually learn. And I think being open minded and the drive and passion I had for it, I just went for it. So it was kind of a little bit of everything at that point in my life. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm really inspired by your story. Honestly, some things I can't see them
Oh.
here, but you let's go. I think maybe as we keep on talking, I'll be able to say them. But when you were
Oh.
searching for the school, so at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
did you have to put in code emails? Were you reaching out to professors about? Because honestly, if you are going into a program and you don't have a prior background, like in that particular program, I know
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's really tedious. Like you have to convince them, even in your SOP, how, because
Mm-hmm.
there should always be a portion where you're going to be like, why are you transitioning from like your bachelor's in communications and media studies to cybersecurity? How did you really go about it, and what do you think was really catchy to the school you are in now, like for them to actually accept you?
I think that's actually a very great question. For me, I just leveraged on my real life experiences. So there's something that I noticed when it's coming, like it's genuine, they know and they also get it. So I just like leveraged on the real life experiences, and then I made sure I was like telling my story that I don't have the background, but this is where I want to get to. I want to be that exception where even though I don't have the background, I'm still able to make impact and still create awareness on the cybersecurity using the communication. So it's not as though I'm moving away from communication, but I'm using the communication within the cybersecurity. So I just kind of, played a little bit of like all around the fence and trying to sell my story. And I think that was what really stood out for them. And another thing too was I was looking for schools that were giving people the opportunity to, still go after their dreams regardless of their background. And I found a couple of schools like my school. So I it was intentional. Like you need to look for schools that are willing at least, because there are some schools that will not give you that chance. Like in
Yeah,
Ghana,
yeah, yeah.
nobody will give you the chance for you to go and do computer science or cybersecurity. If you did communication, it's
Yeah.
very difficult. They won't. So I think that was even at that point, that was what kind of sparked that flame in me to just want to leave and still go after my dreams. And yeah, so I didn't really have to like send emails, or I think I did send a couple of emails, but I wasn't really sending like focusing on that. It was my application. And I made sure it was like a fully packed application. For instance, like in the section where it says other materials, a lot of people don't know you can put in a lot of information there. I
Mm,
decided to put in my certifications in cybersecurity, my real life experiences, things I had written, or like, our communication things, our media things, but it was centered on communication. I added everything to it. And I think they were kind of intrigued, like, who is this girl? You don't have the background, but like, you're speaking as though you know a lot about cybersecurity. So, and I think one other thing too is most tech people are not like communication, like friendly, or tech, like they're not, you know, I don't know how to put it, but usually they're not communication friendly. So seeing that bridge, it's kind of like, okay, there could be something. So I just kind of put in my all, and God being so good, it came out great. Yeah.
Guys, I hope you are already enjoying the story and where we're going to. If you are here, you want to keep sharing. If you've not shared the link, you've not done well. Please share the link. And as Takyiwaa is talking, honestly, there are a lot of insight that is just coming, a lot of questions, a lot of debriefings like I want you to touch on and all of that. Honestly, you said you talked about something, you said certification. So it means when you were even in Ghana after the bachelor's, it means you did certifications
Yes.
in cybersecurity. Can you tell us
Yes.
where and did you pay for those certifications? I know Coursera offer like some of these basic courses and all of that. Where did you take your certifications from, and was it accredited? Like, tell me more about that.
Okay. So interestingly, it was from Cisco. And if you know, Cisco is one of the big, tech hubs. So I don't know, I think it was a friend or something. I told him about, my interest in, IT and stuff, and he sent me the link, and they were giving scholarships to people to do certifications in cybersecurity, because we're also on, this journey of trying to create awareness and stuff. So I think I wrote an essay to them. It was like some sort of, I don't know how to put it, like a gamble. So if you're selected, then you get a chance to do it for free. So I just put in my application, and then I was selected, and I was able to do the certification in the cybersecurity. So they taught me everything, like introduction to cybersecurity. I did another certification under their, their courses. So it was through that I started gaining more knowledge, seeing how it works, and then I started, having this broader picture of what my future could look like or where I could potentially be. So the certifications are very important. I did it, I think, with Cisco, and now there are a lot of them. There's Google, there's Coursera, like you said, AWS. There's so many certifications out there. ISC two.
You're smart.
Um,
You're very smart.
Thank you. So I think that was the main thing for me. Certifications to kind of let me see what it's about. Is it something I really
Mm,
want? And then when I did it, I enjoyed it. So and they didn't charge anything. It was for free. It was on kind of like a scholarship. So I did it, got my
Actually,
certificate, and
I love the whole idea of like certifications, and I did something related to. In future, if you see me go into cybersecurity, don't be so too shocked because I'm really motivated by your story. I'm really following you, and I'm
oh,
learning a lot from you. And
oh,
the job I was doing in Ghana before I came,
yeah,
I think the company works with Google one way or the other. And at the end of the day, I was doing something in relation to like machine learning.
okay,
So machine learning mostly like you're gonna like train and let the
that's a
machine
good
know,
one.
yeah, certain
Yeah.
human features. And like it was a whole lot that I did for that 1 year before coming. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime I see those cyber security machine learning, honestly, just that sometimes the coding and stuff still gets me, scared. But I feel
All
it's
of us.
yeah.
It's not easy. I know.
I know you come there, don't worry. But you also said something about you writing your statement of purpose and you being very genuine about it. I think those
Mhm,
watching can also use that approach. Sometimes people feel you talking about your negative is not really going to fetch you
mhm,
whatever decisions that you think they would give you. So sometimes people lie about certain things. But based on what
mhm,
you're telling me, it's like you just went all out. Hey, I'm coming in from a comms background and I'm not really good at this, but I think and what you said is really key. If I really heard you right, like you can't take communication out of these tech industries that we see today. And some
mhm,
most of these companies
mhm.
nowadays really rely on like com experts to actually sometimes break things down one way or the other. So I
Yeah.
know people who really do like information science and all of that, other things that are really related to breaking some of
Right.
these codes down and all of that. So I think I
Mhm.
really love that, and I think people are really going to learn more from you being sincere and genuine with your statement of
Oh,
purpose. And I
yeah.
think one thing too is the part that you talked about the portfolio, like additional documents. That was really good. I know some schools they don't
Mhm,
give you that opportunity for you to upload such documents. But if you are watching and you are listening and you are applying to a particular program and you see additional documents, honestly, if you did any form of volunteering work and you have
mhm,
pictures, put
mhm.
everything there.
Very
You get a point.
important.
Those times I remember I had a Google Doc. So I yeah. So I had a Google Doc and all my volunteering experiences, pictures,
You
everything,
put
all
it
my
there.
teaching, my teaching. I had some videos on teaching. I put all
Mhm.
of them in Google Docs and I copied the link and I made
Right.
sure I was sending to them. And that's how
Mhm.
come some of us are here. Yeah, Takyiwaa. So before we leave Ghana, you applied to 6 to 7 schools. How many did you get admissions into, and what made you to settle on? You are Montclair State University, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, how many schools did you get admission and funding, and
Mhm.
how were you able to settle on Montclair State University?
That would be it. Would I'll be it would be difficult for me to tell because I don't remember some. But to be honest, I think for the funding, I got in two schools, and it was communication related. So
Yeah.
the first one was communication in AI. That's Rochester Institute of Technology, and then the second one was I think St. Cloud State University. It was actually three, and then the third one was Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other ones I'm not really sure. I don't think I got funding, and there were some too that I didn't get admitted into. But the main ones that I remember were these schools. And for Montclair, funny enough, I didn't get funding in my first year.
So you forfeited the funding from the other schools just to go to a school that you didn't get funding.
Yes.
Tell me more.
So like I've been saying it's about your drive. Like what do you really want? Where do you see yourself? Are you willing to sacrifice to get there? And that has been it for me. Like I feel like no matter what, if I'm, putting my all to get to this point, it's going to bear fruit someday. So I just decided to take that step, that bold step, and go in for
It
it.
has
Because
already started bearing fruit. You are finishing in next year. And if, guys, you can check cybersecurity analysts, their annual income in the United States, so that you know I'm talking with a billionaire.
but it's not easy. It's not easy getting the jobs and stuff, but it's, once you get it, you feel fulfilled. You feel like you've done it. And
Yeah,
even before like finishing school and stuff, there are times where you get shortlisted for interviews or these assessments and you feel so proud, like you've come so far.
yeah.
I some years back I didn't see myself, being able to do coding assessments or being able to like it feels very fulfilling. And now I'm even teaching Java. Like it's interesting. So I think you just have to go for it.
I'll come to that. I have one key question for you, something that trended online for some time. Someone who went to do like computer science and the person can't even do like simple coding. And the person is like, but I'm not the only one. It's normal. People finish school and they can't code. And it was
Yeah.
trending all over. I'll come and take your views on that, whether
Hmm.
people are really going into tech just because now that is that is the trend. That is what
Hmm.
is really happening in most of these developing countries, or people are really going there because they have the drive and the
Hmm.
passion, like you said. So yeah, before I come to that question, you settled on Montclair State knowing what they didn't give you funding.
Yeah.
Can you tell us your like the overall cost of attendance and how were you going to manage that?
So for Montclair, I think it was 43,000 at the time.
That's a lot.
A year, yeah, including living expenses, tuition, your feeding, everything was about 43,000. And my financial plan was kind of like it was also like a gamble, but I decided to go in for it. I had a plan with my family, God being so good, and it was that for the first year I'll be using a loan called Empower Loan to take of my tuition, and then my father will help me with my living expenses. So that kind of took the 43 down to about 20 something that year. So from there, my second year now, I have, a full scholarship. I'm a GA now, so they're paying everything for me. But for my
Hey,
first year,
God has blessed you.
for my first year, that was it. It was, to go in with a loan, and then my father supports me, my family, let me put it that way.
So
Um,
you secured the Empower loan.
yes,
Okay, I
yes.
think I'm making a video recently. I'm working on one video where I'm talking about 17 misconceptions that people have when they are going for their visa interview. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
misconceptions is the fact that when you secure an Empower loan and you
Mm-hmm.
go for your visa interview, your chances of getting the visa approved is very low. With your case, what do you think worked for you? You went with Empower. People are watching. By now,
Mm-hmm.
someone is even watching. I'm not saying this to shade you, but someone is watching and maybe the person secured Empower loan, went to the embassy, and the person was refused. In your case, what do you think worked for you at the embassy? Take me to the embassy.
Okay, so the thing is, I always refute that it's not true. It's possible. Like I feel like almost all my friends here are on Empower Loan. Almost all of them from Ghana are on Empower Loan, and it's. I feel like if you know you really want to get here and you don't have the means of coming, or you have the means but it's not enough, what do you do? Do you sit back because you don't have the means? You have to try. And for
Hmm.
me, I see the Empower as investing in my life because getting into cybersecurity by God's grace, if you're able to land a job, the pay will definitely be able to
The pay
offset
will be
your
paying.
loans.
The pay will be paying. Yeah. Yeah.
It will be able to offset some of the loans at least. So I just kind of went in for it. And me, maybe my story would be different. Somebody would have to go in with, a full loan and stuff. It shouldn't stop you from still going after your dreams. Anyway, let me go back to the question. So for the interview, my plan was to also have backup funding.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I put myself in the place of the view officer, or the visa officer, that if somebody comes to stand in front of me and tells me that I'm going with just Empower loan right after undergrad, it's suspicious, because what is your plan to pay off? How are you going to pay your interest? It's so many things. So I had a backup plan, which was my dad. So using him as somebody to cover my second year and using Empower to cover my first year, it made sense to them. It means that I had a plan of how I was going to pay it off. And I think that was kind of what helped me. So I always tell people that if you're going with loans, you need to have like a backup
Mm.
financial plan. It shouldn't be just the loans, because it's suspicious. Anybody can get up and go for loans. And what is the guarantee that when you go, you will come back? Or like when you go, you're actually going to be able to pay back. You need to have that plan in place and convince them. So I think that was it for me, having that plan and being ready to prove with a document so that, hey, I do have the funds to pursue this master's. So I think that
Eh,
was it.
That's so good. Having a backup plan. And at the end of the day, did they ask you how you were going to pay for the interest rate on the Empower loan? Did they ask you that question?
So I didn't want to share this, but so I mine was kind of like a miracle, if I can put it that way. Because first of all, three people were denied in front of me. And the lady told me that she doesn't need to look at my um I asked her if, because she was typing a lot, and I was wondering, is she going to deny me? So I was like, I have documents here, like I have my statements, my dad's documents and stuff, where he works and stuff. So have the loan letter. And I was like, do you want to see my financial documents? And she's like, don't worry, I trust you. So that's, hearing that from a view, it's crazy. Like being able to hear that from a video is crazy, because back home, the stories you can hear about them and stuff. So being able to hear that from them, that I trust you, it said a lot. Like it meant so much to me. So for me, she didn't even need to take a look at my documents. She wasn't bothered by that. I think her concern was, are you like going to be able to study the program? I saw
Mhm.
it as a genuine concern. Like it was showing all over her face, and from the questioning, her line of questioning was more of, "Are you really sure you can do this?" And it felt to me like a mother asking me that if you go, it's not going to be easy, but are you
Mm.
sure you can do it? So I had to convince her that yes, this is what I want and I can do it. So yeah, that was it. She didn't even look at my statement. No.
No, honestly, when you were talking, I just got a revelation. I think maybe you should start, you should have like a startup where, you pioneer young, young ladies in Africa
Yes.
to enter
Yes.
into tech. Because honestly, tech and you being a lady, like, tech is really seen as masculine and the guys taking it and all of that. And you being able to do it
Mm-hmm.
till now. And honestly, we'll come back to you as how you've been able to, navigate your ways through and even getting a GA. Honestly, your story is inspiring. So if you're not thinking
Thank you.
about it, just think about it, because there are some ladies back home who feel, I can't do that STEM program. I can't really be in
Yeah.
engineering. I can't really be in construction and whatever. So I think please think about that. One day, if it materializes, you just make me a shareholder in your company.
I'm
Yeah.
actually not surprised you said this, because it's something on my heart that I've been, praying about and
Yeah, I'm
hoping to
talking, I'm
fulfill.
talking from the spirit.
So
Oh.
hopefully, yeah, it's in the pipeline.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, guys, please, I hope you are enjoying the interview. This is the first phase. We're coming to leave Ghana and we're coming to come into the land of opportunities. So, please,
America.
if you are watching and you've not shared the link, you are not doing well, please share the link. See, my tie today, I intentionally put on this tie just for the live to go very out, for people to get access. So please, if you've not shared the link, you want to share the link. I'm here with Takyiwaa. She's sharing her experience from communication to cybersecurity. She had a bachelor's degree in communication and now she's pursuing her master's degree in cybersecurity. You never know. Maybe in future I'll interview her again and she'll be doing her PhD in
Amen.
cybersecurity. You never know. So please. I
Amen.
think you're gonna know this lady. She's American, Canadian, Ghanaian, Joy Bolorani or whatever. That lady is so good. I love her. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
heard about her, coded
Yeah.
gaze or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard
yeah.
about
Like
it. She's really good.
I really love her, you know. So I think I'm seeing how you're talking and how you're doing your things. It's like you're becoming an expert
I
nowadays.
saw this coming.
Yeah, so thank you. So prior to you getting your visa approved, you know,
Mhm,
I know you to be like, because in school I knew you were doing this content and all of that. Like
mhm.
prior to that, have you really had the opportunity to travel outside of Ghana before, like to Europe or to United States, or that was going to be your first time leaving like the shores of Ghana to America?
You mean before or when I came here? Like
Yeah,
prior
yeah,
to me coming?
yeah.
It wasn't okay. So it was my first time having an international flight. Let me
Mm.
put it that way, an international trip. Yeah.
How did it feel? Did you go with your dad to the embassy for the interview, and how was the whole feeling? Share with us.
Yes, I went with him, and he's one person that has been very supportive. My family actually, and shout outs to them. So yeah, it was on my birthday, and I went with
Ah, you
him.
went for the interview on your birthday.
Yes, the day I
Then this
met
one,
you.
this one is birthday gift. Oh.
I actually wanted to tell him, but I was so scared. I just left to say thank you. I couldn't even say
Before
it's
you
the
say
best.
thank you, today's my birthday, say
Today,
bring it back.
I was like, you know what? Let me just move out before she changes her mind. Oh god, it was an interesting experience, but yeah, I went with my dad to the embassy, and then I was exciting, and it was nerve wracking because you're leaving to a new place, a place where you haven't been before, and you've heard so many things, and you don't know what to expect. You don't know what your life is going to be like. I don't know who I'm going to live with. I don't know how my life is. Am I going to retrogress or progress? I had so many questions, but I think in all that, just taking that bold step and having confidence in God that no matter what, He's going to be there for you,
Mm,
and
mm,
putting in your all, it's definitely going to bear fruit someday. So for me, I wasn't really focusing on the negatives and the nerves. I was just excited to jackpot and experience it too. So that was it. Yeah, and when you finish this entire process, that satisfaction you get, you won't even be concerned about that what is it going to be like. What No, that satisfaction alone is enough to give you confidence to just leave. Yeah, so that was it
and
for me.
yeah, with I'm just taking a little bit back before we come to the United States. The
Mm-hmm.
question the VO asks you about whether are you sure you can do this program,
Mm-hmm.
what in your answer do you think piqued the interest to give you the visa?
I think first of all, I showed vulnerability, and then I also leveraged on the fact that there's a bridge between the two. So they are not as, distant as people make it seem. So I am going to be that exception in bridging it. And also I told her about the certifications. So it was like my plan was, so right now, what have you done to show that you can do it? And then secondly, how are you going to do it? And thirdly, what is the goal after doing it? That was my
Mm,
thought process. So I kind of answered all that with my response by telling her that, oh, this is something I really want to do from, the personal experiences I've encountered. So that also touched her emotions, I guess. And I also talked about how I really want to do this and always being belittled as a woman because you're unable to get into these areas. And then from there, I talked about the certifications and how I want to bridge the gap because most technically inclined people are not very communication friendly. So I just kind of put the entire story together. I feel like it just spoke my truth because I
it's
was,
unique. Yeah, very
yeah,
unique. Yeah.
and I was being very honest. They can tell if you're lying and all
Yeah.
that. I was just speaking from the heart that this is what I really really want to do. So whether or not you don't give me this, I'm still going to do it. So I just kind of let that shine through, and yeah, God being so good, it was
This
positive.
one is from my heart. We'll continue. Yeah, so now let's come to the United States. Now you are on the
Mhm,
shores of Montclair State
mhm,
University, a very powerful institution. And how has the journey been for you? Honestly, I know I shouldn't, I don't know how to put it, but I know you're going to go through a lot, especially we've been here for 1 year and
mhm,
some months, and you coming in without any communication, without any cybersecurity background.
mhm.
Honestly, How has it been for you? The technicalities, the coding, the Java, the whatever. It really hard when you don't have any prior idea or knowledge about it. How did you navigate through all this, and how are you still doing it? Because I know for sure some people came were in your shoes, and what they were facing. I can say for a fact that some people dropped out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure everybody was able to do it, but you still doing it. And recently I saw you on LinkedIn, and it's like you've written some international computer or whatever, and you've passed. And Charlie, you're breaking grounds. Please tell us what we want to hear.
Oh my god. Thank you for the question. I feel like this gives me the chance to, really express myself, and thank you for that, really. Because sometimes you don't get a chance to even rant and tell people how difficult it is and how the stress you've been going through. Like, even the YouTube, if you can attest to it, how I've been dragging this video for forever.
Yeah, decades. So we planned this decades. It's today I got you. So
So it's been a lot. Sometimes even having time for myself, I was away from YouTube. So many things. It's been very difficult. I remember my first semester, I didn't know how to do coding. I didn't know anything about computer science. I was new. And yeah, in the master's class with people that did like, engineering, did math and all these courses. And I was so confused. I was so lost. And that's the thing, like God being so good. I always meet the right people. I met someone in my class that was really helping me through. He was really smart. There was nothing computer science related that this guy didn't know. So he was Ghanaian too. So it was through that, and then I'm always asking questions, emailing professors. I had people like other friends. I made a lot of friends too, like from all sorts of places in the world, like India. So many people that were, very informative and were willing to help me. There were times where you'd have to, do it on your own too, because nobody's ready to sacrifice
yeah,
their time
yeah.
for you. And it
America for
gets
you.
hard. I'm telling you, it gets so
Mm.
hard because what do? You're trying, it's not working. There were times I'll just get frustrated. I'll submit my assignments like that and I'll still fail, and I was just like pushing, I'll fail and then I'll pick up from there and then I'll keep trying. And I remember my first semester, the course that I really hated was Java. My professor
Mm.
was the sweetest. Like I really, really liked her. But it was so difficult for me. I don't know, maybe because I wasn't used to programming. It was so difficult for me. And now it's like one of my favorite courses, to be honest with you. It's one of my favorite courses. I'm not perfect at it, but just being able to make mistakes, learn from it, and keep trying. And it's been amazing. Like I'm loving the entire thrill of it, going down, coming back up and all of that. And it's been very amazing. God has been very good. I feel like everything is making sense to me now. Like I had to go through all that. And I even took undergrad courses. I even took undergrad courses, and oh, he's actually here, the person that helped me. He just commented. Shout
Oh,
out to
really?
Kwame, yeah.
I see. Senior
But
Java engineer.
he was very helpful to me, and so many other friends like helped me. So it was just pushing, trying, giving up, crying. There are times where
Oh,
I'll
you
just
cried,
give
eh?
up. I used to cry a lot because nobody's willing to help me, and I don't know how to do it. And
Hmm.
what will you do? I'll be crying. Sometimes I'll call my dad and say, I give up. I can't do this. And he's like, just look back a couple of months ago. You really wanted this. So you have to, keep trying and it will make sense. And God being so good, I have one semester left.
We
So
we
yeah.
have one semester, so that people will be able motivated. We have one semester left.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like I really I really understand because sometimes, honestly, doing like organizational communication, the comms we that we came in, honestly, there are things we don't share. But when we are
Hmm.
sharing things,
Yeah.
sometimes we don't really share it because when you're going to share it, someone back home, you are doing comms, that's easy.
It's
Reading,
easy.
oh, writing is easy. But honestly, what we've been through, even in the comms area, your case, I really, really, really understand. And you being able to do it up until this time
Hmm.
shows how resilient and how determined you really wanted to do this and make mama and
Hmm.
papa and the family feel proud. So kudos
Yeah.
to that, and you've really done well. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
May is just around the corner. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll come for your graduation if I get some
Oh,
money.
I'll be honored. Thank you. We have
Yeah,
to
so
meet.
I think you said you mentioned something now you teaching like Java, you now got like a GA.
Hmm.
How did you go about that?
that's also another, tough story to tell. So when I started, I was still looking for scholarships and things like that, jobs and all that, and it wasn't coming. And I was working in the international students office at the first, my first year, but I still wanted something that would at least give me some sort of experience, let me learn, and also get the money. So I was reaching out to my department, sending emails, looking for somebody to talk to at least to try and understand me. And there were times I was told, don't call me again. There were times where I would be sent an email, do not email me again, because I was so annoying and I was in their neck. Like I was always going to them and stuff. So I think what really helped me was being consistent and resilient, like you were saying,
Mm.
and it showed through my grades all through. So the first thing for my department is they use grades to shortlist you, and then after the grades, you have like a test, a coding test in three different languages, and then after that you go through an interview stage, and then if you're lucky you're picked, and then that's how it is. It's very, very competitive in my school, very competitive. um Even this year I was like the only black and the only girl selected in my department, and I felt so proud because I was like, this is
So
the mark.
the grace of God is upon your
I'm
life.
telling you. And I was
It
like,
is.
it's not like extra, like I'm really like extra when it comes to the Java thing, but
You are competing with experts, people with
I'm telling
mathematics, people with whatever background, and you got it.
computer science, computer engineering, so many engineering majors, and they've worked in the field. Like they've done so many things in the field. People have research papers, people, and I just go and sit down with my communication again, and it works. So for me, I think it's just been God all through, and then just keeping my eye on the goal and just going for it, and having the right people in my corner, and yeah.
The
That
right
was.
people. I always tell people this: when you come to
Mm-hmm.
America, it's all about the right people. I tell you, where
Mm-hmm.
good relationships can take you,
Yeah.
your learning alone cannot take you there, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you've been able to come this far. And I think
Thank you.
another interesting question that came into mind is there a distinction between computer science and cybersecurity?
So yes and no. So the cybersecurity is like a subset of computer science. Computer science is like the main, the bigger umbrella. Let me put it that way. And the cybersecurity is
Computer
just,
science.
yes.
Okay, and cybersecurity.
Security is,
uh,
yeah, it's like an aspect of computer science. Yes.
I
So
see.
it's not the same thing, but it has similarities. Yeah.
No, if you tell me like your assistantship and everything was really competitive, actually, I'm going to agree with you 100%. When you come to
Mm-hmm.
CU
Mm-hmm.
Boulder is more STEM, engineering, and all
Mm-hmm.
this like STEM. It's more focused on STEM programs. And my roommate from last semester, he
Mm-hmm.
got his funding from French department, although he was in the computer science department, but because he could speak and teach in French, he was
Mm-hmm.
able to leverage on that and got his assistantship from the French department. But the
Wow.
unfortunate situation is that his final year, they didn't renew his contract in the French department. And this
Oh,
time round, he was not having any assistantship. And he also went for the, like, interview and all of that. And it's really competitive because the Indians,
it's
like a lot of them, and mostly like they can have like 100 students in a year for computer science, like the cohort, and only
right.
two are going to be on assistant. Only two here.
Yes. Yeah.
And my roommate went for the interview and, like you said, wrote some tests, and he was even the only one who was selected. And sometimes I'm like, bro, you went to compete with, at least he has like a background in computer science because he did his
Mm-hmm.
computer science bachelor's in China. So he
Mm-hmm.
kind of had an experience in it. But there are people who are well versed in the thing, but when he
Yeah.
went, he was still able to navigate his ways through and he got it. And I really agree with you if you say it's really competitive. That's
It
why
is.
people back home, some of them are not even motivated to go for,
Mm-hmm.
because I know a guy I'm helping.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Evans, if it is not if it is not STEM, if it's not any program related to data analytics or IT, I'm not coming. And
Yeah.
the guy started school application before I started, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
here. The guy is still in Ghana.
Wow.
Sometimes it can be very dicey, like the whole
Yeah.
study abroad thing. I tell people I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to come in with cybersecurity. If I had gotten the chance and the sponsorship and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'll grab that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But today, if I also want to come into it, by the grace of God and by the grace of Takyiwaa, she will make it more easier for me.
You're always welcome.
Talking about that, let me ask you this question: when
Yeah.
when someone goes in for a master's degree
Mm-hmm.
in cybersecurity,
Mm-hmm.
and a different person goes in for like a boot camp, or let's say the person engages in, let's say, certification. There's this international accredited certifications you can take in cybersecurity. When
Right.
both of you are on the job market and you are looking for job,
Mm-hmm.
do they give preference to you that went to school for the master's degree in computer science, or it doesn't really matter? They can give to someone who has done a boot camp. The boot camps, you can do it for like one year or 18 months, or sometimes you can do it for like 10 months, and you'll be given, because my school, for instance, when I came, they were having a
Mm-hmm.
boot camp, CU Boulder,
Yeah.
cybersecurity online, and I think the payment was about $10,000. They are going to
Right.
teach you everything, and at the end of the day, they will help you craft a CV and help you to apply for this job vacancies and all of that. What do you think about it?
I think it depends. I'll say yes and no. Depends on the recruiter and what they're looking for. Usually, if there's a master's student that has the experience, I'm positive they might go for the master's students. But if the person that did the boot camp has the skills and it's
Mm,
evident from maybe projects or things that you've done, usually you can also get in. So it depends on the recruiter and what they're looking for. There are some people that give more advantage to master students because they feel like you've gone through the entire process of getting an actual master's, and obviously it's higher, so they would want to pick that person. But there are some too that don't care, they just want someone with the skills. So if
mm.
you have you've gone through the boot camp and then you're skilled. Right now, they want hands-on experience. Like if you can do the work, then they're good to go. They don't really care about that. They'll pick you. So I think it depends on the recruiter and what they're looking for and the objectives of the organization. If they feel like you're somebody that can bring additional impact, I don't think they'll go for you. Yeah.
Well said, well articulated. Let me ask you my last but one question before we end today's session. Guys, the conversation has been very interesting. If you are back home
Mhm.
and you are looking forward to entering into the STEM, it is possible. Please,
Mhm.
it is possible. If I tell you the amount of money Techiwa is going to make at the end of the year when she's
Amen.
employed as a cybersecurity analyst,
Amen.
you will marvel. I said search for it on Google. I don't want her to talk about it. Search for it on Google or YouTube. You will know how much they are earning. So it's a very good field to come into, and especially I tell people, whenever you are doing study abroad,
Mhm.
look at the country you are going into and look at what they love and what they believe in. Honestly, US, they love the STEM.
Yeah.
Those who are doing those who are in the health, those who are in the IT, they are the ones shopping the money. There are no two
Mhm.
ways about this. You
Mhm.
don't argue. If you are in
Mhm.
engineering, you are the maths, the sciences, the health. That
Mhm.
is where the money is. So I
Yeah.
always tell people, even if you are not really into those areas in your
Mhm.
humanities program. Now, one good thing I love about the thing is now even the humanities, there are ways you can do humanities and still link it to this STEM program. There are people here
Yeah.
doing communication and AI, like she said. I
Yeah.
know of communication scholars who are doing research just in AI, and the kind of conferences and the grants they
Mhm.
are getting is marvelous. So
Yeah.
please don't limit yourself. You can do it. And Techiwa, so any advice for those watching back home who
Mhm.
think all hope is really lost and they are not really motivated? You are talking about IT,
Mhm.
maybe they don't even have the backup, like you said, with the
Yeah.
sponsorship, and they have no idea about what goes. Please motivate those ones that are watching.
Okay, thank you. What I'll say is that the world is evolving and technology is booming everywhere, even in Ghana, everywhere. So, I'll say that do not limit yourself and keep pushing your limits. If it's about the money, try and sit down and strategize and have a plan. If you have good grades but you don't have the money, what can you do about it? Maybe you can target scholarships. So put in your best application and get the scholarships. If you are not fortunate to have, like the greatest GPAs, because there are some people they have the best GPAs, they still don't get scholarships. So it's not
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. Um, so I feel like if you really want to just put in the work, take your time. and put in the best applications, target the right schools, the right places, the right program, and it will bear fruit for you someday. For me, I didn't have the background, I didn't have millions of money. I was just fortunate to have, by God's grace, a support system that was willing to see me through regardless. And I also had family here, so my strategy was to select a place where I'll be close to some family here as well, so that if the need be and I'm stranded or whatever, I can just run home, or I can reach out to an uncle and auntie here and there, or cousins, and everybody's willing to take me in. So it's just about the strategy and having that plan and being focused on God too, because some people think it's just being religious, or you're just faking or whatever. But had it not been for him, I wouldn't be talking to you today, because there are so many things that
Preach, preach.
I there are so many things that I look at myself and I'm like, I didn't deserve this. I wasn't
Mm,
supposed to be here, but I am here. I am a GA. I am doing this, and I know it's only going to get higher from there. So I would say that do not limit, belittle yourself, and keep pushing beyond your limits. And someday something will work for you. So that's my
mm.
advice. Yeah.
One day something will work for you. This is
Mm-hmm.
a very brilliant, sharp lady, and as you've heard her speak, you could draw a lot of insight from. I've known Takyiwaa for quite a while. Those days when we were in school, he said, "Ah, there's one YouTuber in your class." I said, "Hey, YouTube, this girl, you know." And today, we came here and we're doing YouTube too, and things are really working
Yeah.
out. I know you have a YouTube channel. What's the name of your YouTube channel?
So it's Mami Techua. It's just my name.
Yeah,
Maame and then space Takyiwaa with a full stop. So I'll also be
guys.
uploading this there.
Yeah, go and
Mhm.
subscribe. You
One
wanted to
last
say
thing,
something? Yeah.
yeah, even Evans has done so well. Like I remember, but I even have a video with his face in it, and he was like, "You guys subscribe to Taste with it and do this," and I'm so proud of him. The fact that we met on the same day for an interview, and he got his visa, and I also got mine right after he left. Like it's amazing seeing like us on this other side of the world, and now we're doing YouTube. We're encouraging you guys, and I'm really proud of you. I don't
Yeah.
get to say this a lot, but I'm very, very proud of you. The YouTube, the effort you've been putting in, you are doing amazing. And keep
Yeah.
up the good work, and keep pushing people to also
Yeah.
come and join us, because it's amazing
Thank you.
over here.
Yeah. This is what some people don't understand. When we are pushing people, say, "Oh, you guys, when you come to abroad, all of you tell you, hey, I was a
Eh?
YouTuber in Ghana those days, but I knew you were not going to watch my video because
Yes,
how can I be in Ghana and I'll be telling you to travel abroad? When I
that's
tell you to
right.
travel abroad, you not really believe
Don't
in
mind you. Seeing is believing.
it.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I think we are doing well, and our mamas and our papas and our family, wherever they are, I know they are really proud of us because this has been quite a journey. And sometimes when we
Hmm.
look at how and where some of us were coming from, we
Right.
really didn't know we were gonna make it like this far. And I
Hmm.
always believe in this statement: when divinity meets humanity, there is a release of an uncommon personality. So I
Mm.
think that is
Mm.
something
Mm.
that really helped some of us because honestly, people go and they are refused.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to say maybe they don't have luck or they don't have God or something, but sometimes the tension and what goes in. When I came here, I've personally called people to help them, and
Hmm.
sometimes the strength and that vigor and it's not there.
Yeah.
So I always say it's not even for everyone. Studying abroad is not for everyone because sometimes if you are not willing to put in the work, you
Hmm.
get the point. Someone without any cyber security background still stood on her grounds to push through to this level, and next year May she's graduating. Charlie, you got to celebrate. Oh,
I will.
you got to celebrate because even me, the plans I have, if I because US
And
system is
I'm telling
systeming
you,
me.
it's not easy. And people think communication is just, oh, just, it's all about talking. And people even call it communication skills. And I'm like, there's a whole lot. Like, you're doing theories, you're writing papers, you're doing media stuff, you're doing research. Yeah. And right now it's evolving. So everybody's adding some sort of digitalization to it.
Yeah.
So it goes beyond that. I know how it is because even undergrad, it wasn't easy.
When we are done with school, when we are
Yeah.
done, we come. we will come live and we tell people like, because now we are quiet. When we are
Yeah.
done with school, we
Hmm.
really gonna tell people what goes, and we'll tell people some hidden stories we don't talk about, and how
Right.
some of us nearly stopped school because of
Um,
what we're going through.
mm-hmm.
Chua, thank you very much for honoring
Thank
this
you.
invitation. And yeah,
Thank you
connect
for
me to
having
your
me.
friends too so that I can be interviewing more of them because we need
No,
more of it.
no problem. It was good talking to you again, and I hope you guys
Same.
learned something
Yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah. Please go and subscribe to a channel. You follow Who Know Road. Go and subscribe to Techiwa's channel. Mami Techiwa, right?
Yes. You can also
Okay.
text me on Instagram,
Okay.
underscore mamitichua.xx. Yeah, and I'll
Okay.
be happy
Okay.
to help you out. Yeah.
She's actually a celebrity. So guys, please take advantage of that.
Oh my God. Thank you so
Bye. You're
much.
welcome. You're
Bye.
welcome.